Alright, in this video module what we're going to be doing is taking a look at an introduction to DoomEdit. Basically, where do you get the editor from, and some various problems that you could potentially run into, and how do you get around those problems. So first of all, Logan, how do we get the editor?
Well, the simplest way is to simply be in-game and type the editor console command.
Alright, well let's launch the game.
Okay, so we'll load Doom 3.
Of course, you know, it's not like some applications where you just go and run a separate icon altogether. We will be creating our own icon for some special settings.
To make it feel like it's its own separate program.
Exactly.
Alright, so we've got Doom 3 loaded. We're at the main menu. If I pull down the console now...
And of course, now even that's changed for those of you that are used to, you know, Quake 3 and other first-person shooters. Pulling down the console is no longer just the tilde key, is it?
Right. Well, by default, you actually have to hit Control-Alt and tilde
to
access the console.
Now we can change it.
There is an option that'll let you use just tilde, which we'll be looking at when we set up a real editor shortcut.
Because we like just tilde.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're in the game, and if we type editor, interesting window pops up. Main Doom window goes away, and look at that, we have an editor.
Now, are we able to bring the Doom window back up quickly?
Yes, if we want to go back to Doom, Doom is still running. The whole game is at the exact point it was when we typed editor. It's basically just paused. If we want to go back, we hit F2, which runs the show Doom command, and there's Doom back.
So clicking on X in the upper right-hand corner of Doom 3, that doesn't close it out of memory?
Nope, because we're in editor mode now, all that does is hide it.
Okay, very nice. All right, so now that we've got this, some problems that you could run into.
Well, first is, chances are you're probably running the game in full screen. You notice we actually loaded it windowed with this in mind. If you were running full screen and you type editor, the editor is still going to be running at the same res and mode that you were running in-game, meaning if it'll be full screen, you'll be missing some window stuff. You might not even see your mouse at all.
Right.
Plus, it'll be running at the same gamma, so your entire desktop might be too bright.
That's right. Now, of course, don't panic if you don't see your mouse. I mean, that can be quickly brought back.
Right. The mouse is the easiest thing to fix. Just move the mouse down to where you think it should be, like somewhere over a viewport, and click. And once you click on the viewport, you should get your mouse back as normal.
Right. But some of the other things, like being off screen and all,
like the resolution and the brightness, that you would have to reset by changing Doom's actual settings, which might be a little bit annoying. You might have your settings set up just right so the game looks good. Right. Now all of a sudden the editor is very hard to use.
Okay, and another problem, and this is one that I've seen a lot mentioned quite often on the internet, and that is, well, I've launched the editor and my viewports are showing up all white.
If the viewports are completely blank, the first thing to look into is anti-aliasing. If anti-aliasing is enabled, chances are you won't get viewports.
That's right, so make sure you go into the game and turn anti-aliasing off. Okay, Logan, well, let's take a look at how we can get the editor up in a more friendly method, if you will.
Okay, so we can just go directly to the editor instead of having to load the game and everything.
Exactly. Well, it's going to load the game, of course.
Oh, yeah, but basically immediately go into editor mode.
That's right. So in other words, we're sitting down for a long day of level design.
Right. So first thing I'll do is exit DoomEdit, and this will actually take everything out. Doom 3 is truly exiting now. So with that out of the way, let's take our existing shortcut, copy it, and paste it. So now, copy of Doom 3, and we'll call this Doom 3 Editor. So, well, that's great. We have a separate link that goes to the game itself. What we'll do now is we'll right-click and bring up the properties of our new Doom 3 shortcut. And right after the program itself, basically we have the target of this link, what we're loading. We need to add some options. And the first thing we'll do is we're going to make sure that we're forcing Doom to run in windowed mode so that our desktop res stays at whatever we have it set at, and it just feels more comfortable to use as a Windows application.
Right.
So the first thing we'll do is we're going to add plus set, because basically we're setting an option, the full screen option, which is used as R underscore full screen 1. So we have plus set space R underscore full screen space 1.
Now, setting full screen space 1, is that telling it to go?
Oh, wait, yes, that's forcing it full screen, so we set it to 0.
There you go.
So
that will be
the
windowed
option
now.
Correctly now. So after that, well, great, now we would have the game always running in Windows.
Meaning we'd still need to go into the console and type editor. So we can now issue. Now, right now, this was kind of like setting a parameter of the game itself. That's why you use plus set.
Right.
Now we want to more or less actually execute a command, if you will, from the console. So we can do that as well by simply saying plus editor.
Right. So plus editor now means, all right, load the game and give it the editor command.
Nice.
One last I'm going to add in just to make it a little bit easier to work with is I'm also going to turn on the simple console access as well. So I'll do +com_allow console1.
And again, this just prevents Logan from having to do the Control-Alt-tilde to bring up the console. Now he can just simply hit the tilde key.
So with that, we can say apply, hit OK, and test out our new shortcut.
So as that's coming up, just to go back over what he did, again, it was +set R_full screen _0 +editor and +com_allow console _1. And there you go, there's the editor.
So now we have basically an editor dedicated shortcut.
Now this editor, in the next lesson what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the user interface and how everything's laid out, but obviously this is where we're going to design our levels at. Now, not everything that's in a level is designed from the editor here. Of course, if we want to create static models, which play a very large role in levels these days, we need to do those from some sort of other application, like Lightwave or Maya or 3ds Max. Correct?
That's right.
Then our texture generation, of course, is going to be done from something like Photoshop. And we'll be looking at these other applications and their primary purposes for level design with Doom 3. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, the level editor itself, this is a world of additive stuff, if you will. Right, Logan?
That's right. You start off in a world that is empty.
It's completely empty. The universe is empty, if you will. And we need to begin adding brushes so that we have some BSP so we can run around. And then we have entities that we add, and entities are...
They're just about everything. I mean, an entity is...
players...
It's where you start, it's an object, it's a gun laying on the floor, it's a monster.
And we'll be taking a look at those as well. So, you know, in the end, what I'm trying to get at is, it's from inside here that we'll be building our levels from start to finish, but not everything. Some of the things will be generating, some of the decorations and some of the models that will play very important roles in the game itself in regards to animation, etc., will be developed in third-party applications. So with that, this is just a real quick look at the editor and how to get the editor up. And of course, right now, if Logan was to hit F2, you will see that
wow,
Doom 3 is
looking.
indeed running. Yeah, wow, with all sorts of stuff up there. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the next lesson where we will take a look at the user interface of DoomEdit.